I have no snare in my headphones.
Turn the music up in the headphones.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. What up, what up, what up? This is the BigAss Headphones Podcast. We are here. I am Mr. Preezy.
And I am DJ Rouche.
And we are back with another episode. And thank y'all for tuning in to this episode. I'm saying thanks early because I appreciate you. You know? That's it. That's all I got right there. You got something to say to the peoples, man?
You don't like it when I get all heartfelt and stuff on the microphone, so I'm gonna.
I don't. You're right.
Won't get all sappy and stuff, which is really rare for me to be sappy. But no, anytime anybody supports anything that I do, I'm very appreciative of because they don't have to and they could be doing anything else they want. So shout out everybody tuning in.
Okay. Word. Let's do a quick. I didn't put this in the notes, but. Recap, man. Recap of 2021. What happened? How you feeling about it? How are you going into 2022?
2021 started off like the end of 2020. It was a little slow. For me, sporting events kind of came back during the middle of the pandemic, so that helped me a little bit doing events with no crowds, and then things picked up. Probably spring for me last year, and then went right to the Olympics in the summer. Right out of the Olympics was the shortened AVP season, and then Lakers season started. So kind of feel like I went 0 to 100, but was happy to be working and realizing that sports, it's not recession or pandemic proof, but it'll try to come back sooner compared to the other part of our industry in DJing where we're like, the clubs and the big gathering and festivals, those were all the last thing to come back. So I was very thankful that the NBA did what they did and came back. And 2022, I'm a little nervous at the moment. You know, there are some things shutting down right now just because of the new variant that's going around. But I think that's a Thanksgiving surge, and then we'll get probably a Christmas, New Year's surge. And then hopefully by February, it'll be a little bit more calmer.
Okay, so that was all work related. How about personally?
Personally, 2021 was great. Put out a bunch of music with my group, the Suicide Doors.
Yeah,
proud of, and looking forward to doing a little bit more coming out in 2022. I don't know, maybe by February. I mean, we have some stuff in the works. Just a matter of getting it finalized, and a couple of artists we're working with, trying to get some final vocals, and then the mix down and master and all that stuff too, and the rollout and all that stuff. As an independent artist, you got to do yourself, which I'm all for. It just takes time. But yeah, personally, everything's great. My wife was super busy with coaching this year, and she did great.
Nice.
In her club season and in her high school season, they were pretty awesome. So,
dope.
Could always be worse. Could be better, but could always be
very
worse.
true.
Yeah.
For me, it other than the obvious. Nothing really changed, in my world.
Yeah.
Obviously, bought a house. That was a big deal. Son growing up. He's right here. I don't know if y'all can see the hoodie right here. It's not a mannequin or a stuffed animal that chills in the studio. That's
the
actually a live person.
Of the BigAss Headphones Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So other than, bought a house, he's growing up, job, all that kind of stuff, nothing really changed. Like I was still working as usual, grinding, putting stuff out there, dealing with anxiety like everybody else, you know what I mean? Trying not to self-medicate and harm myself in another way, But I don't know, 2020 and 2021 has actually been pretty good, We bought the house this year. We haven't even been in it it hasn't been a year. It'll be a year in March.
It is.
So this is all like new,
I know a lot of people that either upgraded or got their very first house in the past year, which you would think that when the world's on fire, that's not how it would be. But it was a great time to upgrade or buy, from what I was told.
Right. So I thank God for it. We were able to just keep moving up and advancing. So going into 2022, keeping that same energy. I kind of dislike that phrase a little bit. Keep that same energy, but I'm going to, and I always judge myself off of my previous year. Like I have to do better than my previous year, and that's with my health, with my weight, you know, work, whatever. Like, what can I do to get better than last year? So when I was overweight, I was upwards of 255 pounds. I need to do better than last year.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, I dropped those. Like, I dropped 25 to 30 pounds, and I'm still going.
A lot of people went the other way.
Right, exactly. So going into 2022, I need to be a little bit better. Some of my health issues that's coming up.
Yep.
I'm gonna take that in stride and be better than this year. You know what I mean? So hopefully people will take that and apply that to their life. Just be better than you were last year. Even if it's just a little bit.
And I always think of when you say be better, doesn't mean you have to do more.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't need to add more to my current responsibilities or whatever. Yeah, you can just be better at what you're currently doing right now.
Yeah, even if it's just marginally better.
Totally.
Because that will set you up mentally like, okay, yes, I did advance in something. Not everything, but there was an advancement there. Boom. Whether it's DJing, I know a friend of mine. Well, yeah, he's a friend. I'll call him a friend.
Yeah.
Well, one of my people's I met on my YouTube channel, whatever. He's been asking me a lot of stuff throughout the last couple of years because he's a beginner DJ, started from nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of coached him through these things. And I've actually been watching him get better every few months. You know, he's advancing, he's getting a little bit better. That's pretty much that same thing. Just be better just a little bit than you were before.
Yep.
And it'll take time, but you can do it.
Just patience.
Yeah.
And shout out DJ Louis King over there in the chat.
That's actually who I'm talking about.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
That's the guy.
Love it.
I didn't even look at the chat. Let's what up, DJ Louis King? That's the guy.
I love it.
He found me on YouTube, and we started, he had started asking me questions about what controller should I start with? Do I need turntables? Just all these little things from, want to be a DJ from square one. And I've watched that cat get better. Now he streams on Twitch. He does a couple of nights where he does some, high energy stuff. Then some slow jams on Sunday. And that's to prove my point. Just take little steps to get better than you were before.
Before we get into our rundown, let me ask you this, because people hit me up on DM a lot and asking me questions, and depending on how they ask me determines on if I reply or not. How was his first reach out to you that you're like, oh yeah, this is somebody I should reply to?
I don't remember exactly, but it was very appreciated. Like, I appreciate the way he did come at me, because he was. I don't like when people say I'm an inspiration to them, because I'm just doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I am being an inspiration, then cool. But he kind of came at me like that. Like, I appreciate what you're doing. See, he said it's been a life-saving thing finding Mr. Preezy, so I guess, I don't know exactly what was going on in his life, but he says that quite a bit, that when he found me on a page and saw what I was doing, and, it was an inspiration to him, and he loved it, started asking me questions, and he was surprised that I hit him back, because I think he hit me on Instagram first, even though he found me on YouTube, and he was surprised that I actually hit back. And I did, and once I guess he found out what I do, who I know, I guess, all that kind of stuff, then it even made it better that I'm a working DJ, but I actually took the time to respond back.
Yeah, I tell people that want to reach out, like, you could reach out to 10 DJs and 9 of them might not reply to you. And don't be discouraged by it. Like, who knows what's going on in their lives.
Right.
Or if they're actually a real DJ for that matter. I will respond to everybody if the way they reach out to me is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, fam. What's up, fam? That's immediately
and that's the only thing that's said. Like, I don't know. Like,
yo, fam.
I know. I wish
I hate that.
Just need to do like a tutorial to, like, people think that's networking. Like, the networking part is tell me who you are, tell me what you would like from me. I don't need you to be like, oh, you're the greatest, blah blah, or I'm a Lakers fan, whatever. Like, tell me what you need, because that starts the conversation. If you just like, what's up, bro? I don't. I literally always joke that I'm going to respond with, oh, thanks for reaching out. My wife and I are having a difficult time. I appreciate you caring about my feelings. Just to see how they would respond to me saying that. Because they're like, oh, what's up? What's good, bro? I'm like, well, things are rough. But, yeah, you can't. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Yeah.
But now we talk quite a bit, on social media. He'll hit me up, hey, bro, got a question. And I love talking shop. That's the whole premise of this podcast. You know, just I love it. We can talk that all day. We do. So he'll ask questions about what he needs or what he wants or whatever. I give my opinions, give my feedback.
Yeah.
Takes it from there, you know.
Louis King, where are you from? Hopefully hit up in the chat.
I want to say Kansas, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Cool.
Forget. He'll put it there.
Yep.
One of the questions that he brought up, which kind of ties into one of our topics, is, and I made a video on my YouTube channel, but it's, do you need turntables to be a professional DJ? I gave my thoughts.
Yep.
Nebraska. Oh, Nebraska, yeah. So he's out there. What's out there? Corn? I don't know.
Omaha.
So Kansas, Nebraska is the same thing to me.
To people from
I'm
the
an LA
West,
boy.
to
What
people
do
from the West Coast, it's the same.
Yeah, well, what do I know? It's all, fields. All I see is fields and corn and somebody's cow over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Louis King, right now, I'm scheduled to be in Omaha, Nebraska this time next year for the NCAA women's college volleyball semifinals and finals. So keep in touch.
There you go.
Yep.
So give me your opinion. Do you need turntables to be a professional DJ?
Nope. Next topic.
Cool. That's pretty much where I was with it too. I was
yeah, and not just because I'm not good at using turntables. It's my practice level is way off. No, I think to be a professional DJ, you need to know how to read a room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what kind of equipment you're using. Now, would I recommend, if you have the money to be able to learn on all different types of equipment? 100% makes you a better, more well-rounded DJ. But where we are today with technology, you don't need to know how to use vinyl.
You just summed up my video in like opinion. 2 minutes.
I didn't sum it up. I just know and kept it moving.
Yeah. Well, yeah, same thing. Because it was right. Just the way technology is nowadays, you don't need turntables to be considered a professional DJ, because to be a professional, you just need a craft. You need to know the music or whatever genres you're going to do, play toward in your crowd, like read the room and all that kind of stuff. That's what makes you a pro. If you can do the job, doesn't matter the equipment, if you can do the job successfully and rock the party, quote unquote, that's what makes you a pro. Doesn't matter your equipment. Like you said on previous episode, that gig using the little MIDI controller, that makes you a professional because you did the job successfully. Nobody knew the difference, but the gear didn't matter.
And it's funny when controllers started becoming a thing, and because it's such a weird title, but like I'm a mobile DJ, and by that it just means like I don't have a residency at a club every single Saturday night, and I'm doing events where I need to bring my own equipment every once in a while, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, you don't have turntables to bring with you to this club event. And I was like, I don't. I was like, blah, blah. They're like, oh, well, we're looking for somebody with that. They kind of looked down on it. And I was just like, I kept it. I don't take that personally. I just found it highly amusing, because if you put me in a tent and nobody can see me, I'm going to rock that party regardless of what kind of equipment I have. So there was, when the controller stuff came out, it was, are you a real DJ? But if you look at it this way, if technology, your turntables are what they are because they were the first thing, right? Like people had to DJ back in the day. Disc jockeys that were on the radio were using 8 tracks, right? Plugging it in, hitting play, hitting another one. But like, are they not a real DJ because they weren't using vinyl back in the day? Or like when technology changed and you could backspin a record without breaking the turntable, like that's technology.
Yep.
Right? Long story short, no, you don't need to learn how to DJ on vinyl to be a professional DJ.
Gear doesn't matter.
Correct.
At all. Keeping in that same vein, topic came up a couple of weeks ago, and I just thought about it, so I brought it to the show. Studio monitors.
Yep.
And these are for producers. Does size matter?
Depends on
you know what I'm saying?
Depends on who you're asking, I guess.
Right.
Some people it does. Yeah, and that's fine.
Wait, what did he say? What do you at least need?
Louis King.
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll double back to that. So does size matter when it comes to studio monitors? I figured it's a good topic between me and you because you have the smaller versions
Yeah, I have
of the KRK Rockets, right? You have the Rocket
I have
5.
the 5s, yeah. And I've had these.
And I
for
have the Rocket 8.
minimum 10 years. Yeah.
So does size matter when it comes to mixing? And we'll start there. There's a sub question to this, but does size matter?
Probably yes, but the real question is what's the sound that's coming out of said speaker, regardless of size.
Right. Yes. I would say yes, it does, because I find myself when I've mixed in smaller speakers before and it sucked. Like I never could get the mix right at all. And I think it more so had to do with my comfort level because I've always mixed on 8s or bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when it came to like, I got invited to a studio to mix a song, but they had smaller monitors. I want to say there were 6s, the Yamahas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Which Yamaha is pretty standard in professional studios.
Right. But I wasn't comfortable with them as my mix level at that particular time. So I couldn't get it right at all. But when I brought that same mix or the session to my studio, my comfort level on larger speakers with my ears, mix was fine. Done deal. So in my opinion, size matters.
I bet, and I'll explain why I have smaller monitors. I bet somebody who, because I try to explain this to people, like DJs, producers, mixing engineers, mastering engineers, those are all separate jobs. Now, somebody can do all of them, but somebody who is, people can go to school for all of those things, right? Like a lot of sound engineers I know that mix and stuff went to school for that. And I guarantee you they can mix on any monitor because they can look at the levels or the frequencies because they're professionals. They can do whatever. For me, I don't really mix and master too much in my home. I live in an apartment complex and I don't have a sub plugged in because the one that I do have will vibrate the neighborhood, and I don't want to be looping something for 5 straight hours trying to mix it and just blow out my ears. So my monitors at home are literally more just for monitoring as opposed to mixing and mastering. If when we're putting out a song, we'll either go into a studio that's treated and do it there, or the headphones I have on right now, and I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's the AI. I'll have to look it up real quick. But
yeah, you got me on now. I didn't even notice you had on some different headphones. You have to bring that.
Or whatever the name. Yeah. But these are these were treated by Young Guru, who does a lot of mixing and mastering for Jay-Z and a bunch of others. But these are headphones that they're not straight flat, so he's EQ'd them to the way that he likes things. So if I'm trying to do like the first mix master, I'll do it in my headphones as opposed to my monitors. And then we'll go into a studio. But yes, if you are, size probably does matter, and the frequencies and whether it's a flat response, like the speakers can be bass heavy, all that stuff. Like you hear it now in a lot of today's hip hop, the songs are not mixed or mastered. It just sounds loud in their studio, or they don't have somebody that knows how to mix and master. And I can hear it inside my earbuds when I'm at the stadium. I'm like, ooh, this sounds, the bass is just distorting the vocals. Yep. So yes, size matters? Question mark. Yeah. Asterisk. Yeah. In this case, it probably does matter a little
I
bit
love
more.
the KRKs. Yeah, I love the KRKs because they are bass heavy, and even though like mix the song, I'm still in producer mode, so I'm still trying to crank out as much bass as I can.
Same.
So with these monitors being bass heavy, it tends to push me back a little bit. So where the level of bass I feel okay with is actually more than, or is less than what I hear. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah.
So I'm putting the bass out there, but the speakers are telling me that's a lot of bass when in actuality it's not.
And do you suggest, and I know the answer to this, but the car test? Do you do the car test?
Oh yeah. I do the car. Well, nowadays I do the car test. I do headphones. I do Bluetooth speaker.
Yep, same. To see
those
what it
three.
sounds like. If you can get it to sound good enough on all of those because
Yeah.
people listen to music in so many different. We talk about it all the time. They're listening to it just on their speaker, on their iPhone, like just headphones, no nothing. I'm like, sounds terrible.
The best thing is to get the cheapest thing you can find and play it on that.
Yep. I got the new the M1 chip in the Mac laptop.
Yep.
And the standard speakers. Now this went from the computer I was using before that was like 10 years old, and the speakers got all destroyed while I was in Tokyo at the Olympics, I think because of like the humidity and the moisture in the air, like they were just toast. And then hearing these new speakers, like just the normal laptop speaker has some bass in it. I was like, whoa, like I heard it the first time I was like, wow, where'd that come from? Now, I wouldn't mix off of that, but I'm still going to do a sound test on it.
Yep. Now, sub question.
Yep.
Are expensive monitors better?
The answer is no. I think in the electronic world, you definitely do get what you pay for, but just because a speaker is $5,000, you might get a better sound out of it, but who's really listening to music on that?
Right. I guess that's one of those ones, depends on who you ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because don't go spend $4,000-$5,000 on monitors, even if you scrape it up and save it up or whatever, when you're in a room like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have some treatment on my walls, but it's not like hella treated. So I'm not, $2,000 speakers in here are not going to be beneficial.
Especially if you actually don't really know how to mix and master yet.
Right.
Having the most, it's like, right, like, you could have.
Because I do know how to mix and master, but I'm still not going to do it. I'm not going to go buy those, because this room isn't for that. You know what I mean? Now, if I advance and, like we were talking about doing Adobe Atmos setup over here, then I'm going to spend the money to get full treatment and all that kind of stuff, because that's money involved now. Yes, I'm going to take it up to that level. But right now, KRKs are fine. They were in my budget at the time. I have the sub. That's enough.
Yeah, same. My KRKs, like, they're the monitors when I'm live stream DJing from the garage, or like when I'm, starting to produce music, I'll start in here. But then when I like start to dig deep into it, I'll throw the headphones on, and then I'll move to a proper treated studio room when it's time to get the mix and master done.
Yeah. So work within your budget.
Yeah.
I think is what we're saying.
And look,
you know what I'm saying? As far as this is concerned.
Yeah, and if you make something good, I'm not saying don't worry about the final product, but if you don't know how to mix and master, that's fine. If you make a good song, that's going to come through. People will notice. And then as you get better, you'll learn, or you'll have the money to either pay somebody to do it for you, or you'll figure it out on your own. But good music is good music. I don't care if it's properly mixed and mastered.
Right. I never had the money, so that's why I had to learn to do it myself.
That's it. When
I like it though. Like I love it. I still find it part of the creating process. Like, okay, now I started it from scratch, so I made the beat. Might as well mix it and make it sound sonically how I want it. Okay, can't find nobody to master it. Might as well master it and make it sonically sound how I want it. I've always had a car with major sound systems in it. Well, minus the one I got now. Oh, don't care. But I've had the truck with the 15s in the back and all that. So why not go use my mix, my master, go test it in my truck? Then I'll come back and tweak it how I want it.
Yeah, and I think for me as a DJ, I find myself I'm mixing the track kind of as I'm making it, just out of not everybody does that. I just think as a DJ, that's how my brain kind of works. And when I say mixing, I'm not talking like blending songs together, but like, I really want the kick to sound like this, so I kind of spend some time mixing it before I get to the final version of it. But yeah, I'm sure. Do
you ever find? Here's what I like: adding the reverbs and echoes and all that kind of stuff as you're making the beat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mixing and throwing the effects and all that stuff on as I'm going.
Yeah,
absolutely. And not everybody does it that way.
It's definitely wear all the hats at the same time: producing, mixing, mastering, all at the same time. I'll make a beat; it'll be done.
Yeah, exactly.
fully in an hour. It's mixed too.
Words of advice: don't live in the red. Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty simple.
Right. Don't do it. Red is not your friend. So, sum it up. Size matters as far as monitors. keep that in mind. But unless you're just listening to them, then it don't. But if you're mixing, size matters. Speakers, expensive, don't matter. Stay within your budget. Get what works for your ears, because all speakers have different sound profiles. So get what works for your ears. I like bass heavy monitors. Some people don't.
Well, and a lot of music right now is, even pop stuff is bass heavier as well, so it's being mixed and mastered that way anyways.
Right. All right. Let's get into a new segment we like to call
Let it bump.
Or Is It New? It's not really new. Not too much anymore.
Well,
We've done
this
it.
is episode 4, so it's new maybe to a listener for the first time.
Fine.
I was
Tomato.
trying to help you out, not,
Fine. I get it. So you brought this one.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Point and Kill by Little Sims. This was...
I've never heard it.
This might be my most played track. I don't think I played it in any of my DJ sets, except for my very last live stream where I was literally playing and talking about some of my favorite songs from 2021. It's just got, like, I'm always a big fan of Little Sims, but like the groove in this song to me is, it just has something. And then it's a longer song for today's standards. It's over 3 minutes. And I think probably 2 minutes into the song, like, some different horns come in, and horns get
It's
me
3
every
minutes,
time.
5 seconds, by the way.
So, yeah. Well, a lot of songs today are like 2:15.
True.
Right? But yeah, Little Sims.
So why is this a song of the week, though?
Because I was listening to
It's just your...
I was listening to it. I think I've said this before, but my buddy doesn't like it when I give some gems in my life, but I have airport songs. Like when I get off the airplane into a new city, like I'm listening to music, like I like walk differently getting off the plane. I'm like, I'm here, I'm ready, like let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm flying somewhere for a gig, and like I put a song on my headphones as I'm getting off the plane. I'm like, all right, I'm in whatever town I'm in. I'm ready for my gig. Let's go. And I traveled this past weekend for work, and I was listening to this again, and I can't not stop listening to it, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Let's check it out real quick.
I have no snare in my headphones.
Turn the music up in the headphones.
Run it up! Run it up! Run it up! Run it up! I dig it. Yeah.
Put some good horns in a track, you'll get me every time.
Right? I think you said that on your Twitch stream.
Yeah.
You had like a whole set full of songs with horns.
I literally think, like, for some reason, if you go to Tidal, Spotify, or Apple Music right now, I put my some of my favorite songs from 2021. I made a playlist, and that's what I did on my last stream, kind of played all those songs. And I did realize probably 90% of them had some dope horns in them.
That's dope.
Yeah, you listen
Horns,
to music.
horns
that
can
would
get
make
you,
us-
though. Horns get you hype.
Yeah, there's something about them. It's like the like the brass section, like, I think that's why, like, the New Orleans vibe is such a thing too. Like,
Yeah.
even if you're not into that kind of music, I don't know if it's the tone of the instrument or what it is, but
Yeah. Best horn hit ever is for me, Big Payback, James Brown.
that's really good. This sample that Outkast used for
Spodioli Dopalicious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hat,
I forgot about that one. You got me on that one.
horn.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yes.
I got some
Yeah.
files. I gotta send them to you. Like the AVP Pro Beach Volleyball Tour that I DJ for. Atlanta was our first stop after the Olympics, and I had this edit with those horns in it that like had like proper, like you could play it in the club. It's not Outkast. It's like the original sample and then the horns. But I worked it in a way into like, it was nighttime. We were introducing the players. I was like, I got to drop this in there for the people in Atlanta. If they don't know, they don't know. But
Right.
I dropped it in. Couldn't have been more happy with myself. Whether anybody else knew what I had done, realizing that I was
Right.
saluting Outkast at the same time. But I'll send you that file so you can hear it. It's pretty dope.
Dope, please. You still need to send me that Kendrick Lamar remix.
Oh, with the Funkadelic one?
No. Well, shit, that one too, but I think it was the RIP.
Oh,
Remember he had the first verse?
yes. Well,
That.
it may not have been the first verse, but I had.
Well, whatever.
There
was
is a
Kendrick Lamar one.
Yeah,
With some remix.
there's a expansion pack in Serato DJ that I don't think a lot of people use called Flip, where you can jump from cue points without having to hit it. You can set it up, and I think I have that where it jumps right to his verse and then jumps out. Like you don't. That's all you need is just the Kendrick Lamar. So then that way you don't have to make an edit, physical edit. That's just time saving. I'm all about time saving.
I had no clue.
Serato Flip. I talked to a lot of other DJs, and they either haven't heard about it or don't. I'm like, this is because especially now when a lot of DJs we just play like the first.
DJ Louis
book.
King, take notes.
Yeah.
Take notes because I'm learning too. Serato
Flip.
I'm looking it up as we speak.
Yep.
There it is.
Serato YouTube page too, and you'll see like tutorials of how to use it too. Yeah.
I just bookmarked it as we speak. I'll check that out later.
I use it a lot, almost as like an editing tool to like. It'll jump right to the acapella, the instrumental, the loop, whatever. Yeah.
$40.
There you go. Worth
Serato Flip.
every penny.
All right, done. Done deal. All right. In today's DJ Spotlight last week, we brought DJ Jazzy Jeff to the spotlight, and I mean, deservingly so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's freaking DJ Jazzy Jeff. You know? What else you need to say? But DJ Ruche mentioned his guy for this week.
That's. Oh, okay. This week, my guy. This week.
This week.
Okay. I thought you were saying
For this week.
like my number one. I'm not saying he's not my number one, but
No. Because we're gonna keep this going. I mean, there's plenty of DJs. Obviously, Jazzy Jeff is not just the only one for me. So
correct.
This week, Mixmaster Mike.
Yes, sir.
Tell us why you bring in Mixmaster Mike to the spotlight.
Well, he's another DJ that, first of all, I don't think he's human. Second of all, he can rock a party, he can destroy you in a DJ battle, and he can produce. And not only that, but he was DJ for the Beastie Boys for a long time, toured with Cypress Hill when Muggs couldn't do it, and opened for Metallica.
That's
as
crazy.
Their opening act. Mixmaster Mike was Metallica's opening. I think they were touring in like 2017, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And a DJ was Metallica's opening act, and that dude killed it.
That's crazy.
And he literally like if you slow-mo this video when they get to him doing weird things with the faders with just one finger, and he's like mixing. I think we'll get to in this where he's like, there's a Beastie Boys sample that put your hands in the air, like, and has one hand in the air and then doing everything else with the other hand that the rest of us would need two hands to do.
Right.
Yeah, he's just uber talented, and like I said last episode, if you gave me all the money in the world and said you can practice for 10 years and you don't have to worry about anything else, I still would even be able to do 10% of what Mixmaster Mike can do.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
So what you saying?
I explode outside like Jimmy Walker. I'm
Okay, I'm blown away already.
Already, we're 10 seconds in.
Hold on. What? This is crazy.
Transform. I mean, you saw that, right? His middle finger
Yeah.
was on the up fader, not the cross fader.
Right.
And the transform where, like, the song's cutting in and out super fast. That was one finger on the up fader.
Holy crap. But how is...
While he was hitting samples with his, on that same channel, on the...
But his finger was on the... I don't know.
I know. That's
What?
I'm saying. I don't even know where to begin to do that. My finger hurts thinking about it.
What? Well, how is he even pushing it forward? Because his finger was on the forward part of the fader.
I don't know.
Okay, a little bit more.
Literally an alien.
This is crazy. And it's precise.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like, have you heard it off beat once? By the way, that's DJ Newmark in the background videotaping. I'm like, when another DJ who's high level is videotaping.
Yeah. Yeah, Newmark is another one of my favorites.
Same.
God dang. So let me point out, though, you can tell that didn't go exactly as planned, but being a professional DJ, that makes you professional.
I think he was freestyling it, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. But you can tell, like, the record skipped, but he kept the pattern going and worked it out. That makes you professional.
Yeah, for those listening that didn't get to see this live, it is the Red Bull Freestyle 2016 Chile routine. He was probably there as a guest judge, and then he just went up and did a set. And, yeah, that was the clip I sent you via text the other day, too. I don't know if you got to watch the whole thing, but I've seen him do this live. But the record that's playing, he will bend the record and scratch it while holding the record in his hand bent at an angle. Yeah, I've never seen that in real life before, and it was ridiculous.
Mixmaster Mike, y'all, check him out. That's our DJ spotlight for the day. Yeah, that just blew my mind.
Like,
I feel like I need to go. We got the same mixer. That was the same mixer. I don't think mine worked like that.
Yeah. What buttons does he have on his? What's secret code?
Extra shit.
A B up down left right.
Yeah.
What is it? There's a term for it. I'm blanking on it right now. When your fader is switched to the opposite. So when you move it to the right.
Is this reverse?
Yeah, but isn't there another term for it? I know it's reverse, but isn't there another?
I just call it reverse.
But that's how he rolls. Like, so his fader, his cross fader is the opposite of what Deck is playing. Where normally
Qbert is like that too.
And they learned that's who Qbert learned from. Was Mixmaster.
That's
Mike.
crazy.
And the hand, the way like Mixmaster Mike, Qbert, D Styles, like the way their hands are on the record sometimes, like I don't know how you would teach that because it doesn't look proper. And by proper, I mean like, oh, here's the proper technique of how to put your hand on the record, move it forward, move it back. Like their fingers are bending in weird ways.
Yeah,
like I do
that
something
curve
weird
kind of. It looked like a drawing, like when you draw the
like they have extra bones in their fingers to like make
right.
But yeah, Mixmaster Mike, if you get a chance, first of all, you should follow him anyways. But yeah, check out some of his videos on YouTube. He is, and again, the fact that just now that he's the opening act for Metallica.
Yeah.
And he will say it too. He's like, he's a hip hop. He came from hip hop. He's, the quote unquote hip hop DJ that is opening for Metallica. And the fans love it.
Crazy.
Yep.
That's insane. I'm still speechless on that because I just don't know how.
You're gonna watch the rest of that 45-minute video after.
I am, because I want to see how that look. I'm trying to even practice right. Like I can't even get my finger to
on the front of the up fader, not on top of it and push it. Yeah, I don't know. He's an alien. I'm telling you, he's an alien.
That's crazy.
It's not human.
All right, let's get into our next segment. On this segment of My Mic Sounds Nice, Edamame.
Just for the name of it.
Right. The song is called Edamame by, what is it? BB?
I don't know. I don't know how the $ is S. It's all lowercase, BBNO $.
Okay. We'll just say
no
that.
Idea how you pronounce it? No clue.
Featuring Rich Brian. Now, let me explain. My Mic Sounds Nice is a segment where we bring a song and break down the actual lyrics. Because sometimes you don't listen to them. You just be. Last week we was panda. But what the hell is going on? So this week is we break down the lyrics and we actually recite them out to you so you can hear what they're actually saying. Edamame by BBNO $ featuring Rich Brian. Go for it, Ruche.
So before I say this, I'm going to get anytime you read lyrics, it sounds weird. But I know we do a lot of hip hop on here, but I'm going to find like a Maroon 5 song and read the lyrics out, and it's going to sound just as weird, But yeah. So this song actually was introduced to me by somebody in the club. They came up and like, hey, you probably don't have this. It's somebody that I knew. They're like, I really like this. You should check it out. And I was doing a set that night and a set the next night in the same town. So I actually got it for the next night. Heard it and I was like, oh, there's something about the song. It's fun. It's not a classic that you'll be playing for 20 years, but it's fun. So, but yeah, here's part of.
I heard this on your Twitch stream,
yes,
and it
it's
caught
one of my
me.
Favorites from 2021. Yeah, it's called Edamame, and probably for no reason too. By the way, like why would there's no reason to name it that. So here's I believe the first verse. Balls hanging low while I pop a bottle off a yacht. Chain swinging, cling clang, and it cost a lot.
Okay.
Earmuffs if you need them. Bitch, I'm always after guala. I assume that's money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are not. Badass B, keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa. I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. Because you had to do the whoa in the first one so you could rhyme with bow.
Yeah. Yep. It totally makes sense.
She got a big, bad dumper. Drop it low. Mama called me, and she happy with the growth. Never, ever fold for a thotty. That's an oath.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yay. Just popped a kidney. I bought 1 million options off the stock. Now, that line confuses me. There's some slang in there that I'm not aware of. And I stopped doing the green. Man, I rock arenas. Bringing the peace, and I'm bumping that POC in the car, pretending I got all eyes on me, which is a reference to one of his songs. That is the classic opening to Edamame.
Balls hanging low while I pop bottles off a yacht. Okay, I get it. That's a flex.
Is it
that's
like,
a flex.
Here's my question on that, though. Like, how low are we talking? Like, do you really want them hanging that low?
Yeah.
Or, like, are you doing, like, the Sam Cassell old school reference where, like, he would do the ball swinging thing when he'd make a huge play? Like, is that what you're
like
referencing?
LeBron just did not too long ago.
That is true. He did grab and got fined for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chain swinging, click clang, and it cost a lot. All right, another flex. So back-to-back flexes.
Yeah. To start the song.
Bitch. I'm about that. I'm after that guala. Okay, we get it. Badass B. Keep it going till you hit the spot.
Whoa.
Okay, we get that. You got to flex on how many girls you got and what you can do because your balls are hanging low. So you can't hit the spot. Why are your balls hanging so low? Who knows?
Well, it's probably hot wherever you are if you're on a yacht. So,
Right.
humidity.
Now here, Mama called and she's happy with the growth of what? The growth of his low balls and peeing. So so he hit your spot and now he's going after your mom. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. Or like his actual mom is happy with how popular he's becoming. Maybe that's just that throwaway line. And then because the next line, I'm confused by the next line too.
Never ever fold for a thotty. That's an oath. Just popped a kidney. I bought 1 million options of the stock.
For some reason, I feel like if you listen to the song, like the way it flows, obviously is way different than how we're just saying it. The kidney line is confusing to me. Like I said, maybe it's a slang that I don't know.
Yeah. Just popped the kidney. Well, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
I'm even trying to think, like, what could it possibly mean?
Like, is it a money reference? Like a kidney costs X amount of money on the black market and you just spent that potentially?
Maybe. That's what's the kidney cost of black market? What's black market kidney cost?
I don't know. Haven't been in the market.
Do we even want to know? Should we even be saying this online?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're gonna get an email. Well, when I'm on the black market, the kidneys that I go for cost.
Yeah, I don't know. What did it say? I stopped doing the green. So you doing all this sober? Because I'm assuming stop doing the green, so he stopped smoking weed. Is that what that means?
I'm assuming he's not smoking weed anymore.
So he's ball hanging, going after your mom, sober. Just cuz.
Sure.
I'm asking. I don't.
Yeah, we'll have to get Rich Brian on the pod to ask him about it.
Okay, and Man I Rock Arenas, bringing the peace, and I'm bumping that Pac. Get that in the car. All eyes on me.
Yeah,
Shout out to Pac.
I respect the Pac part.
Yeah. The rest of it, you got me on that one. That song is called Edamame by BBNO $, featuring Rich Brian.
Somebody's gonna tell me what that name is, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But for some reason, my brain can't figure out what it means.
BB Nas, BB Knows,
BB knows maybe.
BB Knows.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, when you find out, let us know.
I will say that this song has become so popular that Diplo just put out a remix to it.
Oh. Should we play it?
Sure. Play that first verse. Because sometimes with people's voices, like Rich Brian's voice on this track really complements the beat. And like, yeah, reading the words sounds terrible sometimes, but like it works in the song.
Let's see. Here we go.
Did you spell BB nose wrong?
I spelled edamame wrong. Shut up. Oh, here we go.
Hanging low while I pop a ball off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. I'm always at the guala, yeah, and you are not bad. Deep, keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She's a big bed, drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the dough. Never ever fall for no.
Spot the Kenny about 1 million options. So the stock and I stop doing the green and I rock arenas, bringing the peace. I'm bumping that Pac in the car, pretending I got all the eyes on me. Got a bad baby and she's independent. Too many people older than me, they're seeking attention. When they warn me about the goofies, man, I should've listened. And it's smell of the money, my strangest addiction.
She tip for I let her lit.
I ain't gonna lie, that beat go hard though.
That's what I'm saying. Like it all works. The way both of them flow on there, like their rhyme pattern, works for me. And like they change their tone of voice a little bit, right? Like it works.
Yeah. They Asian?
That's a great question.
I'm looking at the photo. Huh, all right. There you got it.
The song goes too. It works.
It goes hard.
Yeah.
Edamame by BBNOS $.
I would love
featuring
to
Rich
know
Brian.
how they came up with the name, like what the story behind it is.
Yeah, well, you gotta learn how to pronounce it first. I figure that part out. No, well, you talking about that part?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the name of the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in the studio, you're like, "Oh, you know what we're gonna name this? Edamame."
Edamame.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we got for today, man.
Do you know when?
It's been another success.
Admit to the people about your homework.
Oh,
or no?
yeah.
We can just move on if you want. You don't have to admit to
I
them
thought-
you didn't do your homework if you didn't want to.
I thought we forgot about it. I was hoping you
I see
didn't
it on the
remember.
rundown. So number 1 on the rundown.
Let me delete that. Yeah, last week, my homework, I was supposed to listen to Kid Cudi's album, and I did not do my homework. I feel bad about it because I was supposed to report back and give my thoughts on the Kid Cudi album because I have never consumed any Kid Cudi material that I know of.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I have. If
808
you play the song, I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in reference to 808 and Heartbreaks, and Kid Cudi being, what'd you say, his writer, right?
I think he wrote like half the songs on that album.
So, yeah. So it's in reference to that. So I apologize to our listeners. I didn't do my homework. I will do it for next week. Just believe me. Believe me. I know I have faith in it right now, but
Please
believe me. I will do my Kid Cudi homework and how I think it coincides with 808s and Heartbreak.
I just wanted to see if you'd admit it publicly.
I did. I have no problem because, I mean, it's Kid Cudi. Who really for Kid Cudi besides you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's so funny that
See?
his most popular songs are remixes.
Kid Cudi's?
Yeah, like Day and Night that put him on the map was a remix.
Yeah.
Memories
See, that song I know.
is not a remix, but it's not off of his album. It's a David Guetta song, right?
Mhm.
But like Pursuit of Happiness, Steve Aoki did the remix that blew up. That song's like you'll hear. I think that song's on. It might be on his second album, Pursuit of Happiness. I'll have to double check, but
Yeah, I know the Day and Night song because he plays it a lot, and obviously we play it.
but that's not the
Mix,
original.
'cause
Like
it's a popular song.
Yeah, the
The-
higher
the
tempo. Yeah, the higher tempo version is not the original. Yep.
Okay. I will do my homework.
Yeah, but before we go, we need to double back to Louis King's question about one of our earlier topics because he had a great,
What do you
great
at least need to know to transition on all equipment?
and this went back to our discussion on do you need to learn how to use turntables to be considered a professional DJ?
Right. You can take it.
I mean the basics you need to know are the play buttons on each deck and the crossfader and the upfaders. Like everything's gonna have a mixer, and I mean controllers today are just mimics of two turntables and a mixer. So if you know how to hit play on deck 1 and then hit play on deck 2 and use the crossfader to cross over, you can essentially use all equipment. If you ever find yourself on vinyl and you don't really know how to use it, you're probably using a control vinyl. That's when you just use your cue points, either on the controller.
Or the play button is your hand.
Correct.
So if you're even if you're doing the basic 1-2 scratch, the play button is 1, 2, 3, 4 and play.
Yeah, and you got to push it a little bit too, which is that muscle memory for like on controllers now. I can just let go of it and it starts right away. I mean, you can set it where it doesn't do that, but yeah, on vinyl sometimes there's a little bit more strength needed, if you will.
But that's into the nuances of it. But transition, basics, music count 1, 2, 3, 4. Know your music. What part of the hook of this song sounds great? What part of the maybe outro of that song or whatever transitional pieces you want to put together? As long as you can make those match, the equipment doesn't matter. It really just comes down to the music itself matching up.
Yeah, everything's gonna have a crossfader, up faders. As long as you know how to use those, you're pretty much gonna be good to go on any set of equipment.
Yep. That's it.
Word.
So I'm gonna go let my balls hang low on a yacht and pop a kidney. I think.
Yeah, I really want to know what that means now.
I do too,
Wonder if
because
I
I
can
could
slide
be
into his DM and ask him.
I could be totally using that wrong, man. He'd be like, "You said you gonna pop a kidney,"
Yeah.
and then it'd be some bad thing. I don't know.
Or maybe where I copied it from the internet is wrong, but I feel like that's what he says, and yeah,
It sounded like that in the song. So
maybe it's a stock term that we just don't know about. I'm not cool like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're old.
That's our fan base's homework. You guys tell us what it meant.
There you go. Love it. Tell us what you think. Pop the Kidney from the song Edamame. So that gives you a chance to go listen to the song.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Up their
Find out
sleeves.
what just popped the kidney. I bought 1 million options of the stock. And report back to us in our comments, either on YouTube /Mr. Preezy or any comment section for your podcast platforms, which we are all available on. And I love how I transitioned that into the end of that segment. So thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of BigAss Headphones. We appreciate you guys. Find us on all platforms. Find me at Mr. Preezy on Instagram, at DJ Roche over. I pronounced your name wrong. DJ Roche over on Instagram. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you next week. Hope you guys are having a good end of the year. Merry Christmas and all that kind of stuff. And anything you want to end us with, Roche?
Peace out.
Peace out. There it is. All right, y'all. See you next time.
I have no snare in my headphones.
Turn the music up in the headphones.